and he was at Galveston, not Texas City.
Yeah.
So they had to go from Galveston.
And
Which takes a while.
Yes.
when I was back over there,
It's across the Houston Ship Channel or something?
it's off of the Houston Ship Channel. It was, when we go back over there, 30 days later, there was a warehouse just beyond the Grand Camp. It was still burning. And the warehouse full of sugar.
Sugar's
One
a
that
fuel
they had,
too.
one that they had me pouring water on was full of flour.
Oh, flour is very flammable. Oh,
It, I pumped water on that thing for hours and then come back the next morning, that's one of the hottest spots it was.
it was a great big pancake, wasn't it?
Oh, huge pancake.
My mother lived in San Antonio.
Lives where?
In San Antonio at that time.
Oh,
And was a nurse and volunteered to go to Texas City after the disaster.
a lot of these things she had probably has pretty good knowledge of herself.
Yeah, yeah. And during World War II, majority of the aviation fuel came out of Texas City,
Oh,
out of the refineries.
Yeah, those two piers, warehouses, remains of them, was still burning 30 days later. I don't know how long they burned after that because it was still a pile of stuff there.
Yeah.
I had some
The,
personal experience with flour.
It was about,
It will not
About-
catch on fire, it will explode on your
it was
stove.
about 1:10 a.m. on the 17th when the high flyer blew up. And there was a tug fastened to it, trying to tow it out of the slip away from the remains of the harbor. Suddenly it had let the anchor down when they were tied up at the pier and they couldn't move it.
oh,
I mean, this was a commercial tug. Not the little tug that I had, it was a big one. And the report was, after the explosion, that this tug was destroyed with all hands on board. Of course, as far as I know, there was nobody on the Grand Camp, I mean the high flyer, when it exploded. But about 30 minutes after the explosion, they had to reverse that because the radio crackled. And somebody said, "This is Tug so-and-so. Get us the hell out of here."
yeah.
He hadn't even hit that bank on the other side yet, but the engine was still running very slowly. Any questions?
That was excellent.
Any more questions?
I'm really happy he received this a couple of years ago. Chief Warrant Officer and Warrant Officers Association of the United States Coast Guard presents to Arthur Myers in recognition of 50 years of dedicated service.
That's wonderful.
Are you still in the Coast Guard Auxiliary? Or
No, I
were
never
you?
was. I was in I
Why
was in the
50
regular
years?
Coast Guard. I think some of these pictures. that went
Have you
around.
been in the Coast Guard for 50 years?
No.
What
Only
is this?
22.
22, he retired after 22.
But I was still a member of the association.
Okay.
And that was,
Well, thank you for your service.
it was my pleasure. Like I say, I wanted to join the Navy ever since I was just a little fella. I guess it might have been because my uncle was in the Navy. And incidentally, he went down with the Houston on March the ship actually sunk on April the 1st. But I talked to a survivor from the Houston. He said there were 900 men got off the ship. Only 300 survived the war, the concentration camps that they had in. I've forgotten what his name was, but he was from Little Rock. And there's been an article in the paper about it that his grandmother had saved. And I talked to him. And he said that when the Houston sunk, he said it just sunk bodily. Said it has many holes in it, it just filled for full length of it. He said when they fired their last round of ammunition, the main deck was floating. And I'm not sure just how high a heavy cruiser was. Maybe Bill could tell us. Bill.
Probably about 3 stories high.
Well, this was the main deck, would have been probably 10, 12, 15 feet
Oh, yeah. At least.
above the water.
Oh, yeah.
And it was awash. And he said, I asked him, did he know my uncle? He said, oh yeah, everybody knew him. And they called him Pappy. Sidney Myers, I asked him, did he know Sidney Myers? And he said, oh yeah. You mean Pappy? He went in 1927.
Did you know he was called Pappy?
Not until afterwards. I also met a guy down in Jacksonville, Florida, that had been on a ship with him, and he's the one that told me his name. They called him Pappy. But we couldn't wait till he got his Sunday paper. Grandma had sent him, she usually sent him, took all the ads out and everything, you know, and rolled it up, mailed it to him. And he said, we always look forward to getting that paper.
Grandmothers were good in that respect.
That was his mother.
Oh, okay.
He was my father's brother. And he was quite disturbed. And I think it was November, December, somewhere along there, probably in November, I made second class machinist mate. He'd been in 14 years, and he had just made second class musician. He said, it looks like Frank's gonna make chief before I can even get out of the way. Make first class.
I have a question. If that would have happened today, would they have a better chance of putting the fire out better today? Do you know the current technology? Can they put more water on the fire or anything like that?
Today they probably have CO2.
Oh, instead of water.
Like they fight forest fires with or something?
No, what they make forest fires with is water.
The red stuff that they drop from airplanes?
That's a wetting agent in it.
But they put CO2 in the hole, or
They probably do now, but I'm not sure.
like halon, fire extinguishers or
Some
something
in
like
there,
that.
yeah.
I don't see one in here either.
What?
That's what I was.
Those pictures of maybe at the with formation. Like the one over here. This was much later. That picture was taken probably in 1958 or 59, something along there. And also the one with the group of officers captain and admirals and so forth.
Jean,
I think that's
And
correct.
there I was,
which one?
He's the one in the front on the right.
On the right
Second.
side.
Right.
Right side.
Second.
Yeah, yeah,
this
that's, that one.
yeah, that one, that's,
He turned sideways, you couldn't see him.
probably the guy in civilian clothes is probably the secretary of,
I thought it
whatever
was,
department we were in.
I thought it was Wilbur B. Mills.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Wilbur Mills.
I favored him. Is the sword part of your dress uniform, or, I'm sure you don't try to put a fire out with it?
Yes,
That's a pretty sword. Not the Doran or something?
The
Yeah.
blade is gorgeous.
you wear dress uniform.
Is it sharp or no?
Well, it's relatively dull.
But it's got an edge
Look
on it.
at the,
Yeah.
look at the
Scroll work.
in the, yeah,
Got
the
a scroll
scribe
work
and all.
on it. I didn't have it engraved with my name.
I don't suppose that was etched with a laser back then.
No, it wasn't.
Chemical probably.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for telling your story.
Thank you.
It was very, very,
Well,
very.
Enjoyed meeting you all.
Thank you so much.
If there are any more questions, I'm sure that they'll be hanging around long enough.
Out too long.
I'm sorry, Roger.
Uh,
I didn't pay attention to